High Court enforcement officers have laws that they must follow, so if you're expecting a visit, I'll explain everything that you need to know. A High Court enforcement officer, they're called a HCEO for short, is an enforcement officer who works for the High Court in England and Wales. They're authorised to recover debts with powers handed to them by the Ministry of Justice after a county court judgment, that's a CCJ, has been issued. Now, these agents tend to deal with higher value debts for the court and for businesses. So what's the difference between a bailiff and a High Court enforcement officer? A bailiff is a term typically reserved to describe county court bailiffs. They work for the county court or for a business that wants to enforce a debt after getting a CCJ, a county court judgment. On the other hand, High Court enforcement officers work for the other civil court, the High Court. Now, let's talk about what they can do. A High Court enforcement agent will write to you to notify you of the immediate enforcement, giving you an option to either repay in full, repay as part of a payment plan secured against your valuables, or expect enforcement agents to come to your property to seize goods. The letter that you receive is a notice of enforcement, which gives you 7 clear days' notice to agree to either option, A or B, or they'll come to seize the goods. Unlike county court agents, High Court enforcement officers can attend your property at unsociable hours, such as early as 6 a.m. or as late as 9 p.m. They're then authorised to take control of goods, but they can't force entry into your premises in most situations, especially on an initial visit. They can come inside and open entranceways, but they can't stop you from closing the door with a part of your body. They can't push you to get inside or climb through open windows. So basically, the best thing to do is keep your doors and windows locked if you can. They can force entry if you've defaulted on a controlled goods agreement and the items secured in the agreement are inside your premises. However, even when they're allowed to use reasonable force, they can't cause you harm or kick down the door. It's important to note that recent developments show that lower value CCJ debts are being transferred to the High Court as well, including anything as low as £600. So, if you find yourself in this situation, what can you do to stop High Court enforcement officers? On limited occasions, debtors can stop High Court enforcement officers by making contact with the court. You could complete Form N244 to get a stay of execution. You should also provide a complete budget as evidence. This process of taking control of goods involves HCEOs visiting your property and listing your goods. They may also ask you to sign a controlled goods agreement that allows you to keep using the goods listed, but can be enforced if you fail to pay the outstanding debt. The listed goods can then be removed and sold to recover the debt owed. In some cases, HCEOs might take goods immediately or even lock a room up on your property as a last resort. You will receive advance notice from the HCEO that they intend to take control of your goods. If you can pay the money owed to the HCEO or directly to the creditor before they attempt to take control of your goods, you may be able to avoid the process altogether. This would be the ideal situation. So, if you can raise the funds, that could save you a lot of disruption. When debts mount up, it's overwhelming, but it's best not to ignore them or it'll just get worse. You may want to consider a debt solution. Now, some of them will lower your monthly repayments and others can even write some of your debts off. It all depends on what you qualify for. I've linked to a form on my new website. It's just underneath this video and it's got a few multiple choice questions like how much debt do you owe and how many people do you owe? Then at the end of the form, it'll connect you to a company that I've partnered with to provide you with all the information that you need about debt solutions that are available. So click the link below, go and check it out and let me know how you get on.